From the reason the fastest cars are vaulted to Epic deleting half the live event, these are 32 things secretly removed in Fortnite Chapter 4. With a brand new map, all anyone wants to do is explore it, but Epic has made that harder than ever by vaulting the most useful mode, Battle Lab. It wasn't just disabled, this has been permanently deleted from the game, meaning you can't use it to discover new locations, test items, or even mess around with friends. Now luckily, Creative Royale mode is here to replace it, but it's way more complicated and there's a ton of bugs with it, sometimes not even letting you in. But one change that wasn't a glitch is the removal of the most hated animal. It looks like sharks didn't survive the entire island exploding, and I think people are gonna be happy about that. They were kind of annoying with them randomly attacking, stopping you from fishing, and having almost no loot. Not to mention the fact that almost everyone forgot you could ride them. But one vehicle we did love has sadly been removed. For the first time ever, the Whiplash has been vaulted. It can no longer be found speeding around the roads, leaving the sedan as the next best thing. But hey, maybe all the Whiplashes were just stolen and sent to Rocket League. Be careful though of any crashes because you won't be able to fix it. Last season we could rely on Chrome to repair almost anything, healing walls, cars, even people. It made the repair torch practically useless, but now they have both been removed. And so if you haven't played in a while, you might not realize that the Battle Pass has been completely redesigned for Chapter 4. It looked identical for way too long, but finally has been overhauled. It has the old layout from Chapter 2, but you can still choose what to unlock. However, we won't be unlocking vaults anytime soon because they've also been removed. Your keys aren't entirely worthless because you could open hollow chests, but there's no bunkers or high security containers this time around. We might see them later in the season, but for now, vaults have been, well, vaulted. And that is just like our beloved Colombo, who's been gone for a while, but now there's an update with it. Sadly, it's not the news any of us want to hear. He has been permanently deleted from the files. There's no sign of clownberries either, which have been completely replaced by slapberries. And did you know that Chapter 4 has removed a feature that was in the game for almost 2 years? Collab skins quickly dominated the Battle Pass and have been tier 100 since Chapter 2. In fact, the last original skin in this position was Spire Assassin. The Ageless has finally put an end to their reign, with this season's collab demoted to page 5. Just a few weeks ago, we saw the arrival of a highly anticipated item, but it's already gone. The Dial-A-Drop allowed you to instantly spawn a supply drop at your feet that could give you heals, weapons, or even a pickup truck. It was one of the most unique items in Chapter 3. It was in the works for years, only to be removed with no explanation. And the same can be said about Fortnite's brand new vehicle. They added the Octane from Rocket League last season, and you could perform some incredible stunts. It was easily the best car in the game. But with the release of Chapter 4, it's nowhere to be found. Now we can still use it in creative mode, but we all want to try it on this map. I mean, come on, Epic. One of the craziest things happened this week when Tidy was brought back after 4 years. This is already surprising, but then it got weirder because 1 hour later, it vanished from the item shop. Now it had copyright issues in the past with Snoop Dogg, which is why it didn't release for so long. But Epic messed up again. Tidy was brought back with hippie skins, which is hilarious, but also pretty controversial. No wonder it was deleted so fast. We also didn't notice that Fortnite has removed one of its most iconic features. The Battle Bus has been untouched for so long. Only collabs were able to take it over. Well, the Battle Bus has received a new design, which makes it jet-powered. This huge thruster has blocked the door, so the only option is to jump from a secret hatch. Now, a lot of fans are saying that the most disappointing part of Chapter 4 was the Fracture event. It failed to answer a lot of questions, but there's actually a reason for this. In the files, people found deleted scenes from the event, and one of them includes the last reality. When the island got destroyed, a giant mothership was originally going to steal the 0 point, and that's until it fights back, destroying the ship and flying away. If this was cut, who knows what else Fracture had in store for us? But don't think about it too long, or you won't notice Epic deleted something that's been in the game for 2 whole chapters. The Pro Fishing Rod has been completely removed, leaving just the standard version, which it can't even upgrade at a bench anymore. The fishing collection has also been sliced in half, and only the basic fish remain. Pretty sad to see, but at least there's still floppers and small fries. Fish is just one of the consumables to suffer this week. All the iconic food stores have been wiped off the map. There's no Durr Burger or Pizza Pit, and instead, the island is ruled by Slap Juice and Saucy Sausage. Yeah, it is actually called that. The trolling doesn't stop there. We even saw Guaco's Tacos in the live event, but he is nowhere to be found. And players are furious over the secret removal of harvesting. Turns out that whenever you pickaxe a rock or tree, you'll get a very tiny amount of resources. Instead of the usual amount, like 60 stone, you'll find yourself with 20? Now don't panic just yet, because this actually might be a glitch with the new new trees. The older ones are not affected, so let's hope Epic fixes it soon. I will say though, it's no accident that one of the most interesting gameplay features has been vaulted again. Last season, the Herald controlled so many chrome tornadoes around the map, but with Chapter 4, they're fully removed, even normal tornadoes too. You gotta admit, they would look insane with the new graphics. And that is not the only thing we're missing out on, because Zero Build players just lost one of the most useful items in the game. Shield bubbles are gone from Chapter 4, and while there's a replacement in the works, it could take months to come out. Hey, at least the porta bunker is still there to offer some protection though. That is unlike the harpoon gun, which has been vaulted for the first time since its introduction in Chapter 2. It was the best at fishing and even became a powerful weapon if you knew how to use it, especially when throwing your enemies off a cliff. And speaking of enemies, one item that totally overstayed its welcome has finally been removed. The IO car was a sedan with increased speed and fuel, but thanks to the island's destruction, they have been all wiped out. Considering the IO are medieval now, I don't think they're interested in cars. Now, Epic didn't just vault the best vehicle, they also secretly removed Chapter 3's greatest weapon. I'll say it, the goo gun was a super controversial item that was loved by some and hated by a lot of others. You could fire a trail of explosive goo that stuck to players and structures, absolutely melting them, so I'm sure some people are happy to see it gone. But no one had a problem with crash pads. They were only added during last season, but Epic aren't messing around because they are gone. Since they nerfed the flying car strat, I don't think anyone's gonna miss them that much. And honestly, it feels like crash pads get vaulted every season, so I wouldn't be surprised if they make another return soon. That is unlike Fortnite's most disappointing mystery, which will never get answered. In Chapter 3, the Foundation statue had 2 stone doors that were completely sealed shut. We had high hopes they would open during the event, as these doors weren't affected by chrome, but joke's on us, the entire thing has been deleted. The statue even appeared in a new loading screen, so Epic is just trolling us at this point. A change you might have noticed is that damage feels a lot higher. And no, guns are more powerful, instead, this is a new feature. It totals the damage count instead of showing like 10 numbers on your screen. It is way better than doing maths in the middle of a fight just to know people's health. But if you prefer the older system, it hasn't been entirely removed. You can still customize it in the settings menu. One thing you can revert is the removal of D-launchers. They were great for flying across the map and taking no fall damage. I mean, they came in clutch when running from the storm and lasted just one season before Epic moved on. Since they don't exactly fit with the medieval theme of this season, it makes sense why they're gone. The new theme also removes a key feature that you might have forgotten about. Since the reality tree completely died, the sapling item was taken away from us and we won't be seeing them around anytime soon. They really changed up the gameplay. I mean, being able to find a guaranteed mythic, it was a little overpowered. Speaking of great loot, one of the best locations has been removed after 2 chapters. Throughout downtime, we spotted so many different landmarks floating in space. One of them was the iconic pontoon boat, but despite being teased, it didn't make it to the island. Not only did this spot have the best loot, but gave you a huge kickstart with enough slurp barrels for your entire squad. Epic seems to love removing things that were only just introduced. The grapple glider was one of the final items to arrive last season, but it has already been sent to the vault. It's not too surprising since hardly anyone used it because it was so much worse than the original and barely had any range. Now you can imagine how excited everyone was when we heard the motel from Chapter 1 was coming back. The sign was floating in space during downtime and it seemed like the iconic location was finally making a return. But as soon as we loaded into the new map, it wasn't even here. And the same goes for No Sweat Insurance. We last saw it flying over the island and the sign even appeared in space. But despite surviving so many events, they didn't make it through this one. That's not all because a lot more items have not made their way to Chapter 4. Say goodbye to Evo Chrome guns, Chrome splashes, and the popular Rapid Fire SMG. Some of the main weapons have also been deleted like the Ranger AR, Hunter Bolt Action, and even the Prime Shotgun. I mean, this season has definitely brought a breath of fresh air to the loot pool though. That's everything secretly removed in Chapter 4. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been Tommy and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.